It's a good thing they put that up there, otherwise I wouldn't know what to say. Welcome to the class of 2026. Welcome to your families, to your friends who are here in person, who are watching live stream, and some of you who are graduating who are watching live stream. Welcome, welcome. We are so very pleased and proud of you. My name is Lisa Portez. I have the honor of chairing the Department of Theater and Dance here at UCSD. No need for that. No need for that. No need for that. It's an interesting year, right? Because a few years ago, prior to my time, we restructured the department. And in a kind of fluke year, we're only graduating MFA 3 actors right now. How awesome! Because you get all of the attention, which I know you're actors, so that's a good thing, right? It means that not only do we celebrate the class of 2026, but we can celebrate each one of you by name. Maya, Torkan, Kennedy, Jermaine, Ricky, Bailey, Elliot, Kenneth. Yes, congratulations. My God, you made it. You made it. You made it through 2 2/3 of your academic years, and now you're going to have your official MFA. Congratulations. Before we celebrate any more together, I want to take a moment to thank to thank your faculty. Ursula, Stephen, Aishan, who's watching, Andrea, Des, who's here in the house, and then your many faculty that also taught you, Naomi, Jacole, so many others, right? Lamar, Vanessa. So let's just give a round of applause to your incredible faculty. Let us also take a moment to thank perhaps the most important people in the room, your family. Thank you, families, mothers, fathers, siblings, grandfathers, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, everybody who has been involved in supporting the growth of these incredible artists. It's not easy to support an artist. It's scary. You think, how are they going to survive out in the world? And, it's emotional, and artists go through crises. They're emotional, and supporting them through all of that takes all parents love their kids unconditionally, but it's a special kind of love that goes to your kid who's an artist. So thank you so much for supporting your artist children. Now back to you. As I said, you made it. You will be, and I know you've heard this 10 billion times from many, many different kinds of people, you will be each other's cohort for life. I speak from experience. I teach with one of my cohorts now, two, actually. And those bonds are tight because it's kind of like soldiers. You went through something intense together. And so, look after one another and keep in touch with one another, because you will be each other's strength through the next many, many years of your very successful lives. And you'll be each other's strengths when it feels like, right? So stay in touch with one another. Your first year was my first year. 2023, right? 23, 24, is that right? Yeah, I think so. And it has been my great honor and privilege to watch your growth and development over these 3 years. You're a special, idiosyncratic, specific, distinct group of people. And I really can't wait to see what you make happen. And I also want to welcome you to the incredible UCSD Theatre and Dance alumni community. As you know, our community is strong. There's not an alum that doesn't answer the call. We're everywhere. We're in New York, we're in LA, we're in Seattle, we're in Texas, we're everywhere. So you can count on, wherever you move, If you don't know somebody in that town, call Ursula. She'll know somebody in that town, and she'll definitely know somebody in that town, and she'll be able to, hook you up so that you can get the lay of the land. And that's how this alumni network works. So I say take advantage of it. We are a very proud alumni community. I just want to ask just one other thing. We have our legendary commencement speaker, Herbert Siguenza, coming up in just a moment. But he's a great example of something that I think is really important as you move out into the world, which is if you're waiting by the phone for something to happen, or you're waiting for that email, or you're waiting for a text, or an Instagram DM, whatever you're waiting for, stop waiting. Stop waiting and make something. Well, the opposite of waiting is making. You can make content, you can make shows with your friends, you can start a theater company, and many people have. The moxie and the hustle and the passion that it takes to get out there and make something of your own is what's going to carry you like a tidal wave through the rest of your life. And waiting is enervating and debilitating. So just don't do it. Don't wait, make. And now I would like to say a few words about my colleague and friend, the legendary Herbert Siguenza. Herbert Siguenza is an actor, playwright, director, and the founding member of the iconic Chicano Latino performance group, Culture Clash, which was founded in 1984 in San Francisco. They are a satiric group of performers that decided they weren't going to wait for other folks to provide opportunities to them, but instead Herbert, Richard Montoya, and Rick Molina banded together and started creating satiric content to talk about the Latina experience in the United States, at the time Latino experience, and then Latinx experience, and now Latina experience in the United States. And also to talk about the politics of the time, to talk about issues that were affecting Chicano folks, or Latino folks, or just folks in general. And they performed here at the La Jolla Playhouse at least once, if not many times, and on this stage, as a matter of fact. Herbert has most recently starred in Quijote Nuevo by Octavio Solis at Roundhouse Theater, Denver Center, Seattle Rep, South Coast Rep, Portland Center Stage, and most recently at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. And I had the great honor and privilege of directing one of my heroes, Herbert Siguenza. He was a playwright in residence at the San Diego Repertory Theater from 2016 to 2022. He wrote 6 fully produced plays while at the Rep, and they are now available in his anthology of Latino plays, which you can get at martiloprest.com. And with that, I'm going to invite Herbert to the stage.
I'm not that old. Wow, I feel like a Chicanosaurus, a dinosaur. Because I am a dinosaur. I've been doing Chicano theater, American theater for 40 years, guys, 40 years. So, yeah. And it's bizarre to be here. We did a show called The Mission here. Des was still artistic director, and that was a big deal. This was 1993, So I feel like we opened a few doors along the way. And that's what I want to talk about how we can open doors for each other as we go in our journeys, right? But man, how do I speak about 40 years of doing theater here in America, right? So what I put together is a Pecha Kucha presentation. You guys ever heard of that? Pecha Kucha presentation is a 7-minute video, 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Is you take 20 slides, and this is a great, believe me, I think you guys should do this for presentations. You can present anything, any subject. You get 20 slides and then 20 pictures, and then you have 20 seconds to narrate every picture. So that's like almost under 7 minutes. Because scientists have found out that people check out of lectures after 7 minutes. Like you guys are checking out right now. I'm only 2 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I'm losing them. No, we're gonna put on my video. I've condensed 35 years of my journey into this 7-minute video. And we could take question and answer after, and then I got my keynote speech. Let's go.
I guess my theatrical journey started in the fields of Delano. Notice the actors with character signs around their necks, so it's clear who they are and what they want. What they wanted was more than just entertain the audience. The audience, poor Mexican farm workers, learned thanks to the actors in play that they have the right to unionize. El Teatro Campesino was formed by Luis Valdez, who helped Cesar Chavez unionize farm workers through the theater. A theater created out of the need to educate and inspire with music, comedia dell'arte, and large doses of Bertolt Brecht. This is the birth of Chicano theater. While those brave pioneers performed on flatbed trucks, I was a San Francisco boy watching TV shows that had a profound effect on me. The Andy Griffith Show, Leave It to Beaver, Wild Wild West, Lost in Space, and F Troop. Silly shows performed by great character actors. The world changed when the Beatles invaded our bilingual living rooms. I went local with the British invasion, and it changed how I saw and heard the world. The absurdity and smarts of Monty Python's Flying Circus was a major influence on my future comedy. While I was attending art school, the Americas were awakening and rising from 500 years of colonialism, and the Cold War was reignited. I went to Cuba to see the revolution firsthand. Chile, Nicaragua, and El Salvador were deep in bloody civil wars. The table was set for 3 bilingual urban Chicanos to emerge out of San Francisco's performance art and stand-up comedy scenes. They were young, brash, and irreverent. They were Culture Clash. Richard, son of Chicano poetry legend Jose Montoya, bilingual rapper Rick Slick Salinas, and me, Master of Disguises. Our hero, Luis Valdez, took us under his wing for a year, and we performed in every small town along California's burrito belt of cultural centers and junior colleges. The Marx Brothers meets the Rolling Stones were the headlines, and we lived up to the hype. Back on Broadway, Luis Valdez shows a confused and weary Cesar Chavez the Great White Way, where Chicanos were not allowed to dance, sing, and tell their stories. Meanwhile, in LA, Culture Clash found out with Cheech Marin that Hollywood didn't want Chicanos on TV either. We conquered Los Angeles on stage with A Bowl of Beans that was filmed for PBS Grand Performances. Hollywood came sniffing around, but we weren't selling out. Instead, we went back to Theater Row and produced ourselves. Some hip Fox executives came around and gave us our own groundbreaking sketch show. Regional theaters all over the country wanted The Clash to bring their subscribers some much-needed culture and laughter. And after 36 years, we're still together, and dare I say it, still relevant and necessary. This is a recent photo of us performing Culture Clash Still in America in Orange County and Berkeley. It was time to leave the nest and see if I could fly solo. I went back to basics, and I wrote and performed a tribute to Mario Moreno Cantinflas, the Charlie Chaplin of Mexico. He spoke Spanish a mile a minute and danced a mean cumbia as his pants slipped down to his knees. While I was doing old school comedy, Richard wrote a Pulitzer-worthy drama called Water and Power, a dark Chicano drama about the City of Angels and civic corruption. It was our first dramatic piece together, and we even got some respect from the haters who said we couldn't do anything else but comedy. Our last collectively written play was our Los Angeles masterpiece called Chavez Ravine. The play is about eminent domain, the death of public housing, and the welcoming of the Brooklyn Dodgers to Los Angeles. This play attracted a large Chicano audience to the Mark Taper Forum, like Zoot Suit had done 20 years earlier. When I was 7 years old, I saw a photography book called The Private Life of Pablo Picasso by Douglas Duncan. I told my mom, when I grow up, I want to be like this old man. Well, I guess I did. A weekend with Pablo Picasso took me my whole life to write and perform. I have a hate-love relationship with Shakespeare. The language intimidates me, and it might as well be French. Once I understood what Will was saying, his universal story of family, country, and honor fascinated me. I adapted Henry IV into a post-gringo, post-apocalyptic Chicano version called El Henry. Remember the Occupy movement? Seems like ancient lefty history now. I wrote Steel Heaven in response to this well-intentioned movement without a leader. An American protester is killed by police and goes to heaven to be retrained by 60s bad boy Abby Hoffman. You remember Abby. In 2017, I was awarded a prestigious playwright in residence grant by the Mellon Foundation. This grant allowed me to just focus and write plays. My adaptation of Moliere's Imaginary Invalid was set in early California before the Gringo invasion. It was called Manifest Destinitis. Pixar Studios invited me to their Emeryville campus to check out rough sketches and ideas for a Dia de los Muertos film they were developing. While I was around the table, I said, I can do voices, you know. And 2 months later, I voiced the twin uncles, Tío Oscar and Tío Felipe, for the Oscar-winning animated film Coco. With the success of Manifest Destinitis, I went back to the Moliere well and wrote the first narco-novela comedy called Bad Hombres, Good Wives. Now, if you look at the picture, I see Monty Python, I see Carol Burnett, I see El Teatro Campesino on the dusty fields of Delano making audiences laugh and think. That's my theater.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so proud to be here because I'm so proud of you guys. If you guys have any questions regarding this before I get into my keynote, anybody? Because it's funny because I've been doing theater for 35 years, but the minute you do a Pixar movie, it's like, oh, yeah, you're a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? But that's just one little percentage of my career. But yeah, I recommend this type of presentation. It's 20 slides and 20 seconds each, right? So I'm just really happy to be here. And Lisa, thank you for inviting me. I usually don't do these kind of things, but I think that video, I was able to condense a lot into it. I didn't come prepared with a keynote speech because I like to keep things loose and in the moment. In fact, I wrote this as I was here. As a satirist, comic, I like to read the room and talk about what is happening at the moment. At this moment, I need to address the elefante in the room, the legacy and downfall of Cesar Chavez. Now, it's safe to say that I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the work that Luis Valdez did with Cesar Chavez, taking theater to the fields to organize farm workers. This action inspired hundreds of students to form their own teatro groups all over the Southwest. A lot of this theater was bad, but it was real, urgent and very connected to the community. These are things that we're striving for now. Many of us had never had a formal theater education, which was liberating and free. Truly decolonized theater, because we didn't know any better. The formal academic way is great and useful, but I think it also is limiting. It also disconnects you from the community. Culture Clash, my group, is a third-generation Chicano theater, and we grew up in the city with MTV and Prince. We were not formally trained, but we developed our own comedic, bicultural voice and that resonated with community and later artistic directors looking for a Latino play in their regional theater seasons. So we were like one of the first, in many occasions, we were one of the first Latino plays in many of the regionals around the country. It was great and terrifying at the same time. So we believe we opened the doors to many Latina theater makers. I'm here to say that as artists, we need to be careful about heroes, icons, and words. These things change and shift with taste and sensibilities. When we started, we were Chicano theater artists, then Chicano theater artists, and then Chicana theater artists, and then later Latinx artists, and later now Latina artists. So as you can see, words just keep changing, and it's okay. So what I'm trying to say here is that don't get hung up on heroes because they are just people. As artists, let's stay objective and remove by a degree so we can see the truth and make fun of it. As clowns, we're free to make fun of our heroes, our sacred cows. Abby Hoffman said, "Sacred cows make tasty hamburgers." And that's so true, right? I mean, they're making, yeah, Cesar Chavez is a tasty taco right now for sure, which is brilliant. You guys are in a great space for experimenting and changing your mind. Don't get stuck in a particular dogma or philosophy because you will surely change along the way, along this long journey. You will change. So don't get stuck on something. Stay committed and passionate about your positions, but also stay open for change and other points of view. Listen, listen. It will make you a better actor and a human being. Gracias. Hi. And now what's next? I know, thank you. Thank you. But no one's coming up? Okay, thank you.
Coming back to your place, but I'm still half the world away. Coming back to your face, there's a guilt that I'm trying to place. Let me try explain. It's a gift to exist, it's a wonder to taste, and it's hard to resist when it's all on the plate. All right. I'm tired, I don't know what you want me to do. If I could, then I would, but I can't split in two. All right, it's up to me to spend my time. I gave you yours, so give me mine. And in between it's hard to find when I'm in and out of time. Am I unfamiliar? Like checking in to some foreign hotel. Wishing I could steal you to a place where there's no one else. Is it greedy though? Can I ask for both? For the gift to exist and the wonder to taste, and it's hard to resist when it's all on the plate. All right. And I'm tired, I don't know what you want me to do. If I could, then I would, but I can't split in two. All right, it's up to me to spend my time. I gave you yours, so give me mine. And in between it's hard to find
morning, folks. Thank you. This is a more intimate in-person gathering than we are used to, since this is the first year that Lisa has said, for a variety of reasons, we have a graduating class of actors only. But I feel lucky, because graduation ceremonies can go long. And I have spent many a graduation eve painfully cutting and speed-talking my way through this speech, so that I wasn't part of the problem. But today, we can luxuriate and celebrate and take real time to honor this incredible group. I have been proud to have been head of graduate acting for the last 5 years, and I was fortunate to have had that privilege with these tremendous artists from the time of their brilliant auditions just about 3 years ago, through 8 of their 9 extraordinary quarters here at UCSD. As most of you know, the marvelous Stephen Bisher was kind and brave enough to step in quickly and will lead this fine program into the future. And I just want to acknowledge that since Stephen has come to our faculty, he has not only been a world-class movement instructor, but to me, a confidant, endless texts, mentor, advisor, visionary, role model, deep support, and dear friend. I cannot thank you enough. But as they say, it takes a village, so I'm going to also officially thank all our phenomenal faculty. First, the core teachers, the magical Aishan Chelik, who is opening the show right this minute in New York with 2 of the graduating students in this class and 1 alumna at Playwrights Horizons. Woo! Marco Baricelli, emeritus, who blessed us with many years of his classical text genius. Our newest core faculty, Andrea, how did we even get her, Caban, who world-famous expert and author on all things speech and accents. Thank you for your intense dedication, passion, skill, and love. And I'd also like to give a shout out to the many faculty who worked intimately with our students and contributed to their growth. I'm going to say them all. The great Des McAnoff, who gave them concrete skills and profound inspiration last fall. Kim Walsh and Carla Harding, who have been wise and powerful teaching mentors since as long as I can remember. Eileen Troberman, the Wizard of Alexander technique. James Newcomb, master of safe and vibrant stage combat, just retired after 30 years. That was Blood Day, you saw. Dear, kind, and caring Kiana Richard, who teaches acting for the camera. The seasoned expert on all things showcase and residencies, Jacole Kitchen. Naomi Azuka and Deborah Stein, our incredible playwriting faculty. The amazing Vanessa Stalling, Lamar Perry, and Lisa Portis, who directed and or taught and or mentored them. And I also want to mention the exquisite Laura Powell and Lisa Porter, who supervised and guided and problem-solved with and for our stage managers, both grad and undergrad, who are the lifeblood of any production, and no actor could survive without them. And any faculty I have not mentioned, design, PhD, I know you have influenced all our students in countless ways with your brilliance. Thank you. And I want to mention the staff, the hardest working woman in show business, Laura Manning, the generous and dedicated Michael Francis, and so many others, Jesus Chapa, especially for this event, Claudia Cheng, Christine Alvarez, Michelle Abramson, Melissa Craig, Steve Negretti, right up there, and of course, Corey Caswell, graduate advisor, who works tirelessly behind the scenes to make sure all these folks get where they need to go and get out of this joint with all their ducks in a row. Quack, quack. And finally, I would also like to thank you, the parents, the friends, the family of these remarkable forces of nature. You are the key to their ability to pay for, hang in, keep going, stay the course, take a breath, and survive this complicated and robust adventure. Which brings me to our graduates. This group of actors, as Lisa said, is truly unique. Not only are they unique in who they are and what they want to say, but they took the training by the teeth and forged new paths as to what can happen during this fertile time. They were a group of many firsts. This is the first time we recruited someone who already had 3 degrees, including a master's in computer science from Stanford. This is the first time we had at least 2 students in the class who spoke more than 2 languages. This is the first group where someone said, I have a project that is important to me and what I want for my future. It's a film in Germany. Can I do it? And we said yes. Another student in their second year was approached by a local company and he said, I need to play this part in this kind of play. And we said, let's work it out. Another said, I have a project. The play, the director, and the venue are meaningful for me, but it's nowhere near San Diego. and we gave our blessing. One student quietly got cast in a main stage production at the Old Globe in the summer of her second year. That has never happened before. Woo-hoo! And as aforementioned, for the first time in UCSD Department of Theatre and Dance history, 2 students went with one of our new plays to New York before graduation, and we celebrate that. And this group has had its share of challenges. There are always challenges, but this was the first time someone left another fine program in the middle of their training to come to ours. This was also the first time someone left our fine program to join another fine program elsewhere. And so the class navigated the deceptively difficult task of going from 9 to 8. A month into the first quarter, one of the actors had to be rushed to the hospital and take a month off to heal, but came back triumphantly to do the second week of the production they were in. Other students suffered profound injuries, went through surgeries, family losses, illnesses, global events that affected them in deeply personal ways, and financial hardship. And yet, here they are. I am incredibly moved by their fierce clarity about who they are and what they know they will do with what they have learned and become. I heard a wonderful quote, "Creativity eats darkness," and I'm confident that their creativity will be a hope for us all in the coming years. Those of us who've seen me do these speeches for the last, I don't know how many years, even before I was head, know that I love to find a metaphor for each group of actors. And I thought, maybe you need to let that go, Ursula. And then I was at a show last quarter, and somebody said, "What's your theme going to be this year?" And I went, damn, all right. One year they were superheroes, one year animals, one year vegetables, really, they were a tossed salad. One year they were minerals, different geodes and crystals, different kinds of light. One year they were different kinds of booze. That was a fun year. And I went through a bunch of metaphors this year, water, and someone suggested desserts, art. Finally, I landed on something that came to me from a speech by Anna DeVere Smith that she gave when she spoke to our students during the time she was performing her one-person show at San Diego Rep. She said that she is not in favor of the phrase melting pot. She doesn't like the idea of cultures, histories, identities becoming homogenous. But she also is concerned that this country and this world can be like a group of islands that keep to their own. She said, "I believe that artists need to build boats and carry the stories from one island to another so that each world within the world can be celebrated." So today, you are boats. And before I give you your boat, I'm going to read a very short poem. This poem is called "Blessing the Boats," and it is by the great Lucille Clifton. May the tide that is entering even now the lip of our understanding carry you out beyond the face of fear. May you kiss the wind, then turn from it, certain that it will love your back. May you open your eyes to water, water waving forever, and may you, in your innocence, sail through this to that. Lucille Clifton. Okay, it's what you've been waiting for. Another first. The group is firmly placed in the second half of the alphabet, L through T. But on that note, I want to take a brief moment to lift up the 9th member of the class, firmly placed in the first half of the alphabet, the lovely and bright Ruva Chiguadere. If you're out there, Ruva, we cherished our time with you. We have missed you, but we know that soon you will be with these clowns once again, creating mayhem and magic wherever stories need to be told. And now to our current graduates. We begin with Bailey Lee. Bailey hit the ground flying and has never stopped, voraciously learning, playing, shining through class after class and role after role. From her delightful Russian ice skater, Sasha, in Orlando, to her electric portrayal of both Dromios in The Comedy of Errors, to her fierce dancing and wailing and eating up of Carol Churchill's language as Joan in Vinegar Tom, to her emotionally fearless and funny work in the Wagner New Play Festival of Baby Shower Katie, and her how did she change her costume so fast, can't I keep my eyes off her 20-some roles in the LJP production of Working Girl. Bailey was a force. And last but not least, the incomparable Crab/Sailor One, in the best show in New York, No Singing in the Navy. Curiosity personified. Aishan Chelak, director and teacher, puts it this way: Bailey exploded her virtuosic ability with comedy in her portrayal of silly but fierce and romantic Sailor One, and the charming and brave heroine Crab. Bailey is positive, imaginative, rigorous, riveting every minute, on stage or off, which is why her boat is a jet ski, powerful, making lots of waves, flying into the future. Now, Coleman, are you coming up to collect her diploma? And this is the jet ski. Do you want... So now Bailey is going to speak to us.
Hi, thank you so much for letting me record this little speech. I'm in New York City, but I miss you all and I love you all. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to God and to my family for being the first foundation of people that have made me feel safe and believed in. Thank you so much to the faculty for accepting me to UCSD. It is a total miracle in my life. It's a miracle in my life that I have gotten to spend 3 years with you all and with this cohort, exploring myself and something that I love. I wanted to be an actor since before I knew that that was a job. And I will just always mark it as like a tremendous privilege that I've gotten to spend this time exploring something I love with all of you all. Thank you, Stephen, for teaching me and encouraging me to be braver in my work and in my life. Thank you, Ursula, for watering my voice and encouraging me that my body and my soul have something to say. Thank you, Andrea, for raising the bar in my expectation for myself in my work. Thank you, Kyle Blair, for singing and screlting with me for years and years in that tiny room. And thank you, Aishan. Thank you, Aishan, for like the hundreds of moments that you've quietly encouraged me that I can be an actor, that I will be an actor, that I am an actor. And thank you, like, most importantly, to my cohort. Grad school is so much about who you do it with, not where you do it, I think. And I'm really grateful that I've gotten to spend 3 years with you all. I just admire you as people, and I admire your work. Thanks for putting up with me. I know I'm a berserker. It's been a joy in my life. So anyways, we did it!
I cannot believe I left out Kyle Blair. Thank you, Kyle, for your wonder, your genius, for leading the rock band and Vinegar Tom, for all the times you make the students choose the optional high note. You are a high note. Ricardo Lozano. Junior. Ricardo, sweet, deep, creative, physically magical. Ricardo began his trajectory at UCSD in the difficult role of Guzman in The Promise. From the beginning, he reveled in the bodies of his characters, attacking them with ferocity and rhythmic charm. As Stephen Bisher writes, movement is definitely one of his love languages. We will never forget the dance he did as a poetic metaphor of the character's inner struggle. His heels were on fire. In the Wagner new play, Cancelina, Ricky's amazing physical instincts were on full display as he created characters and environments right before our eyes. Faculty commented that in another new play, Nerve Endings, a play about cycles and constant repetitions, Ricky had to repeat parts of scenes over and over again. Not only did he do it beautifully, but you could tell the subtle wear and tear on the character. Ricky brings maturity and strength to every role, which brings us to this quarter's brilliant Brutus. Tortured, full of wild conflict and moral ambiguity, Ricky took one of the most difficult roles in Shakespeare and made it fresh and ferocious, balancing sophisticated rhetorical gymnastics with intimate personal revelations. When I sent him a congratulatory note about the performance, he said, "I loved it, I want more." Ricky, I wish you more. I wish you many dancing days and smooth sailing on your pleasure boat. Here you go. Here you go. I'll take the stuff away.
Oh shit, it's my turn to do this. Nice. Wow, y'all, 3 years. Wow, cool. Great. Okay. I'm gonna move this up a little bit. I've waited since I was 18 to say I have a master's. I have a master's. That's insane. Being first generation in higher education is something so rewarding and daunting for me. You kind of have the weight of everything on your shoulders, but also none of the weight since I'm the baby. This journey was shaped by the people who stood by my side every step of the way. To my family, thank you for the endless love, patience, and belief in me, even when I doubted myself, which was constantly here. You've been my foundation and my biggest source of strength. To Anton, thank you for your constant support, encouragement, and for always reminding me of what I'm capable of and who I am. To Ian and Torkin, oh my gosh, wow, I don't know where I would be without Ian and Torkin at this moment. I feel like us staying up sleepless nights talking about little things from what we saw in our day to some things that are going on which are out of our control in the world. Y'all kept the sleepless nights and, like I said, our stories being alive and just being able to hold me and keep striving for myself and for each other when the rags were ragging and the riches were riching. So I really do appreciate that. And I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart that you all have saved me here. I don't know where Ian's at, but no, Torkin's right there. Oh, there you go. You all have really saved me here, and I really mean that in all the literal sense and all the metaphorical sense. You truly have saved my life here, and I don't know if I could have done this without you all here. And to my cohort, even though me and Kennedy are the babies, and I'm not really a baby, but even though we're the youngest people in our class age-wise, it's just been so amazing watching each and every one of my cohort mates grow in our respective ways and focus on little things that we needed to grow on, maybe interpersonally or just as a cohort. And this moment is not just mine, it belongs to all of us. And so thank you so much to my cohort. And for my faculty, the patience and grace you have given me has been unlike any other program I've been in. And to experience that when there's so much already at stake with what I'm going through, I think has really nurtured and healed a part of me that I didn't think needed to be healed because I was just always pushing through. No, it has to be better, it has to be fast, it has to be good, I have to keep moving. And I think y'all just really made me realize it's okay to slow down. I can restart. It'll be okay. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really thank all of y'all. I love you. Thank you.
Kenneth Ray. Kenneth Ray couldn't be here today, but he was a giant presence on our stages throughout his time here. From his complicated, racked character of Ray in the mind-blowing Weiss stage production of X First Year, to his physicality and dynamic precision in the new play Cancelina, to his quietly terrifying Judge Brack in Lisa Porta's astonishing Hedda Gabler, to his many wildly different, absolutely charming characters in Gone Missing, especially the song, to, as Stephen Bishop writes of his performances in the Wagner play Refuse It, Kenneth is incredibly adept with language and also able to say a vast amount with a look or a gesture. His comic timing was a joy to witness and a masterclass in execution. Kenneth is always good. He sometimes would say to us during training, "That's not my strength," and then he would blow us all away. Accents, singing, Shakespeare, he delivers. I remember his clown movement final when Kenneth and Elliot Segay competed for who was the best singer in the world. Kenneth had openly confessed that singing was the thing he dreaded most in the world. The improv was so committed, so joyous, so strong, so well sung, so hilarious. Kenneth is a boat with a very powerful motor. Although he doesn't need a motor, rowboat, canoe, or steamship, he has what he needs to go wherever he wants to go. Kenneth Ray. Maya Nguyen. Maya can do anything. When she came to us with her big science brain, she's the one from Stanford, who knew that she could also be a brilliant rebel clown, John Cricket, in the Rogues Trial, an insanely passionate punk rocker, and the hilariously adamant 14th century housewife Marjorie in Vinegar Tom, Morse, the troubled young withdrawn girl who could eat you alive in one flea spare, and the indomitable D'Artagnan, the fourth musketeer, while also trailblazing by performing in 2 new plays in the Wagner Play Festival last year at the same time, Dirty Martini and Nerve Endings, filling both of her performances with emotional depth and a responsive spontaneity, while being sharp, free, and playful in one and darkly moving in the other. And during that time, she was also understudying at the La Jolla Playhouse. I loved all her performances, but I will never forget her powerful voice and otherworldly channeling of pure rage singing from the depths of her soul, the unforgettable badass Polish ballad in Polish at our humble winter singing recital. It had the entire room trembling. Maya is a speedboat. She is racing into the future with so much beautiful talent and skill and drive and power that many more rooms will be trembling with her uncompromising spirit. Maya Nguyen.
Oh, wow. I have a degree.
Yeah, what?
Oh,
You get to have it.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, there's confusion because I'm staying here until June, so I thought I was getting a blank piece of paper. Thank you so much. But I guess I'm getting my diploma today. Yay. Hello. This is scary. It's not like I've been training in something that you might call public speaking for the past 3 years, but that's okay. Hi. I'm not really good at this, and I can't see anyone, so that's good. So I'm gonna try to keep things simple, but very sincere. First, I wanted to thank my cohort. The past few days, I got to see the MFA 1's movement showing. Shout out to MFA 1's in 23, and I also got to be in the Wagner for the season planning. No, season announcement. And I just started getting all these flashbacks. I remembered when we first did our monologues in front of each other, when we got to write with each other and be fiercely honest about each other's writing and acting process, and how we sweated through like all these masks at Stevens or Hahamad confusedly at Ursula's. And I realized how much blood, sweat, and tears went into this. And I'm not just talking about the work that we put into the craft. I'm talking about the personal challenges that I think each of us had to face and still figure out how to keep going. And I really deeply, deeply admire every single one of you, and I am so thankful that I got to do this hard thing with you all. I'm learning from you every day, and thank you so much. I want to thank the MFA directors who continue to work with me and tolerate my questions, or they don't tolerate my questions, but they let me ask them anyway. Thank you, Shama, thank you, Kieran, thank you, Luigi, and thank you, Ali. Love you all. Thank you to my college friends who supported me when things were really, really hard. Thank you for calling me almost every day for the entirety of my first year here. That was really rough. And thank you for coming down to see my shows. I appreciate it more than you can imagine. Thank you to my friends from back home in Poland. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me about the parts of myself that I tend to forget living here so far away from home. Thank you for reminding me that the world is three-dimensional every time I try to flatten it. And thank you for taking care of me and making me feel safe even when you don't realize it. Hej Franek, jeśli oglądasz. Hejka. And I want to, sorry, the speech is really long because there's a lot of people, but I do want to get everybody, and there's no orchestra to play me off the stage, so I'm going to take advantage of that. I want to thank my old mentors from college. Thank you, Stephanie, for taking so much time to work with me on my monologues. Without you, I wouldn't have gotten into UCSD. And thank you, Michael. Michael has been my mentor since like my freshman year of college in 2018. And he still lets me call him today, years out of college, to ramble on about things that are so goddamn boring. Thank you for telling me to, that if I want to audition for grad schools, that I should do it to the best of my ability and not just treat it as a trial run. And thank you for being the person to tell me that if I want to move to New York, that I should have 2 people that I can call at any time, at any day, for any reason, and they will pick up. Thank you for just caring about me. Your mentorship has shaped my artistic path, but also my path as a human being, and I am so immensely grateful. And I feel so lucky that I got to meet you and have you in my life. So thank you so much. I want to thank our faculty here. Thank you, Aishan. I don't know where the camera is. Thank you, Aishan, for encouraging me to be messy and meeting me where I am at. Thank you, Andrea, for holding my hand through every production and teaching me what it means to be precise about speech. Thank you, Marco and Des, for teaching me how to breathe life into language and be bigger. I'm still working on that, and I will get there. Thank you, Kyle. Oh my God, thank you, Kyle, for trying 100 ideas every quarter for singing, because I am indecisive and I want to do everything. Thank you for jumping in with that Polish song. There was no music sheets for that song, and Kyle had to write down all the notes. And he did not understand a word of what I was saying, but he was like, yeah, let's do it. Thank you so much for being game, and thank you for all of the extra time that you took out of your already busy schedule to work with me. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Ursula, for releasing my breath. I remember the first year in voice class, and I was so confused. I had no idea what we were doing, and you would not explain. But today, I'm standing here feeling so much more ease. And I think it has everything to do with breath. So thank you for teaching me how to breathe. Thank you for advocating for me, whether with the department or with La Jolla Playhouse, and thank you for all of your encouraging messages and checking in after every single production. I really appreciate you. And thank you, Stephen. Thank you for telling me that, that my initial headshots sucked. Thank you for telling me that I should probably not be emailing people from an email address that says man022@ucsd.edu. Whenever I listened to your advice or any note or feedback that you had for me, I ended up better off. And I truly can say that I would not be the artist I am today without you. So I would be working on a bunch of productions, and we'd be working out with the directors, and I'd be so close to figuring out my character, but then I would be stuck on something. And then Steven would come in to a run, and he'd look at the run and just whisper to me just one simple thing. And every time I'd be like, aha, that's it. I don't know what magic it is, but you can say a phrase and it spurs my imagination. and it helps me become better. If it wasn't for you, I truly would not grow in the ways that I have grown. I would not be the artist I am today. I would not be standing here before all of you today. So thank you so much. And last but not least, I do want to thank my family. I want to start with thanking my cousins, Nia and Hua, who are here today to support me and who have supported me in my time in San Diego for the past 3 years and have been my family here. I want to shout out my brother-in-law, David, who listened to me complain and stress about showcase scenes more than he ever should. And to baby Erica, who has been my primary sense of joy for all of her existence and for the past few months. And finally, to my big three. Mom, Dad, thank you so much. Thank you for reminding me to be a lion when I acted a lamb. Thank you for supporting me, not just in the past 3 years, but all of my life. Thank you for teaching me how to ride a bike, helping me with my math homework, driving me to the SATs, feeding me, and and telling me not to worry when I know you have so much to worry about yourself. And thank you for always being ready to support me, even when that support would cost more than it ever should. I don't know where the camera is. I think it's here, but hi, hey mama, hey tata. Vì bố mẹ con mới ở đây được, con mới theo đuổi được cái đam mê của con. Vì bố mẹ giáo dục con, dạy con học thế nào, sống thế nào, con mới tìm ra được cái bản lĩnh của con hôm nay. Con yêu bố mẹ rất nhiều. Cảm ơn bố mẹ. And last but not least, thank you to my sister. My sister was the person who found my first audition. When I was 13, there was this theater center called Ognisko Teatralne Machulskich. I probably talked to you all about it, where a bunch of teenagers just come in every weekend and do sketches, do scenes, monologues, and just like make theater. But they also learn about art. They learn about visual art, music, performance, and they learn to talk about art and how to relate to it and critique it. And a lot of ways in which I relate to art today, almost all of it, comes from that place. And it's such a big part of my life, and I would never have gone there if it wasn't for my sister. So thank you for supporting me, not just in words, but also in action. Thank you for seeing every single one of my shows in college and for flying down to see my shows here, for making me soup and buying me a plant. You have taken care of me in all aspects of my life, my entire life, and I will spend a lifetime trying to repay at least even like a half of what you have done for me. And I love you so, so much. Yeah, you have shaped me into the person I am today. So thank you. And I just wanted to end saying I feel so immensely lucky to have the family that I have the friends that I have, and the mentors that I have, because honestly, I would not be anywhere without the people who uplift me and help me and just support me with all their might. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and all of your endless time. Thank you.
Torkan Omari. Torkan crossed a very big ocean to come to us, and has crossed the ocean several times during her 3 years. So, I'm going to give her a little ocean liner, because as we all know, Torkan has oceans inside of her. So many stories to tell, so much passion to share. From her very first jaw-dropping improv during her audition, to the hilarious Abbess in The Comedy of Errors, to the Take No Prisoners fierce Severino in The Rogue's Trial, to her role in the new play 809 Almond, about which Stephen Bisher writes, "The character she played wasn't quite fleshed out yet by the playwright. Determined to go beyond stereotype, Torkan questioned and commented and accepted and declined and tried and suggested until finally she helped sculpt a fully fleshed out human being. And that character fit her like a glove. She played that role beautifully with the sensitivity of a close friend, full of warmth, care, humor, and tough love." This year, she played 3 very different characters in the same play, People, Places, and Things. A matter-of-fact, tough psychiatrist, a kind and caring group therapist, and a beautifully complicated, poignantly distraught mother from New Jersey. We are very excited to see the movie that she made in her second year. She's the one that made that movie. Jet-setting her way back and forth to Berlin. It is called No Good Men, and I want to read the nice little shout-out from Broadway World, Torkan Omari as the glamorous expat Anita. And finally, we are all in great anticipation of her one-person show entitled Couldn't Be Me, which she has been working on all this time and will present at the end of spring. Oceans, indeed, Torkan Omari. Yes, your ocean liner. Come on up, darling. Oh, there you are. Also, did we mention her fashion sense? Amazing. Thank you, Lisa.
Okay. Here we are. The past 3 years here have been some of the most miserable in my life. And my birth was incited by a bomb. So, that says a lot. Looking back now, I realize how absolutely ridiculous it was of me to decide to pursue acting at the age of 30 in the United States of America. But here we are, and alhamdulillah, we are still breathing and finding ease whenever we can. Thank you, Eileen, for teaching me some of the most important tools I will forever take with me in my acting toolbox, and for helping me realize that although I was barely able to be present that first year with the ongoing genocide of my people across the sea, that any work I did under those conditions would only be amplified once my system is at rest. You have no idea how profoundly those words impacted and supported me, and will continue to do so for the rest of my artistic career. I would like to thank Stephen for his patience and excellent eye. When I could move from my elbow in the second year, and my nervous system was able to recognize a door for a door and a lamp for a lamp, I knew you had helped me grow as an artist and as a human person. You are a true genius, Stephen. And I'm so grateful to have learned under you. And I want you to know that I will bother you forever. That was not a question. Okay, I'm happy we agreed to that. I would like to thank Ursula for helping me find the different layers of my voice, for teaching me how to connect deeper to myself through my voice, and of course, for the warm-up that I will take with me forever. Thank you also for giving all you had, and more than that, in periods that were often difficult for you too. I would like to thank Aishan for her big heart, and bless the fact that your ears are tuned to that beautiful heart. I would not have survived this place without you as my mentor and teacher. Thank you for taking the time to educate and help me on Sundays, holidays, late nights. You were always there, and you always truly cared and supported my future as an artist. And not just mine. Thank you for truly seeing each and every one of us for our unique gifts. Andrea, I still don't think I know what a fricative is. But that is definitely my fault. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you for your patience in teaching me, for your flexibility in adapting your teaching methods to my novice brain and tongue. Thank you for all the ways you did not only teach us about accents, but about the realities of the industry. Thank you for telling us so early that self-regulation and emotional resilience truly are the most important indicators for a successful career as an actor. Thank you, Kyle, for your generous teaching, and I guess your generous ears, because you did have to listen to me sing for many, many hours in that tiny room. So thank you. Although he's not here now, I would like to thank Marco for introducing me to the idea that any Shakespeare character is only interesting because I play it. Yes, you heard that. Thank you for teaching me how to fight myself less by bringing my current state into any character and justifying that with living thought. I know this speech is supposed to be about me and my time here, but I would like to take this stage time to center somebody else. Someone who very unexpectedly, yet drastically, changed my life over these 3 years here. Kenneth, you did not only teach me about acting, craft, and discipline, you taught me about life. You showed me what it's like to walk this world with true grace, kindness, heart, talent, perseverance, and humility, and how to hold on to that, even when it's not always given back. Kenneth, you've impacted my world forever. You taught me the importance of showing up, especially when it gets tough. The peaceful resilience you've taught me, oof. But first, I learned so much just by observing your working class, your excellent technique, plateau of choices, and joy as an actor never stopped inspiring and amazing me. Like all the incredible characters you would so easily create in any movement class and how easily you could abandon them, unlike me and Jermaine, and maybe also Mylan. You were never precious about your work. It was so easy for you to create and play and let go again. You inspired me in how one could approach this craft. And then, as a classmate and human person, every time I asked for your help, you said yes. You never said no. Whether it was for some audition or whether it was to move my entire life from a hostile house into a new home in the middle of the quarter. Thank you, Ricky, Ian, Kalfani, and Kennedy as well. If it wasn't for you, I would have walked out of many different situations these past 3 years in America thinking that I was crazy. It's due to you and my therapist that I can come off my time here partially sane. Thank you for that. And last but not least, thank you to my mom and my sister who still don't really understand what the fuck I'm doing here. And unfortunately could not be here because the world. I want to say thank you for supporting me, even though you don't get what I'm doing. I want to say thank you for your patience, even though I've just been a voice over the phone for the past 3 years, but actually I've been roaming around the world for the past 10 years. And it's truly your support that allows for me to be the resilient artist that I am today. Thank you, guys.
Don't forget your... Elliot Segay. Elliot is a tall ship with many sails. Elliot always seems like he has endless breath support. You can tell from his full and hearty laugh. Oh, oh, oh. He has sailed through all kinds of challenging material, beginning with the wild and flamboyant characters of the Archduke and the Archduchess in Orlando, to the enigmatic Clark in Rosie Glenn Lambert's eye-popping production of X, to the all-heart-yearning lover and lighthouse in No Singing in the Navy, where he was able to share his remarkable singing voice, and all this in first year. And that summer at Shakespeare Santa Cruz, I was able to catch his delightfully hapless Orlando in As You Like It. Elliot went on to portray Jack, a down-to-earth 14th century Essex man without a penis in Vinegar Tom, to his beautiful truth-to-the-core rendering of Simon in the three-hander We Are Continuous at the Diversionary Theatre here in town, to the unlikable villain in Mother Loss, played, to quote Stephen Bisher, with gravity and bravery that we had not seen before, and to the 500 dance moves as second in LJP's Working Girl. A tall ship indeed, also kind, generous, open, and wicked smart. Many sails, many places to sail to. Elliot Segay.
Hello, everybody. Coming to you from New York. Just finished a show a couple hours ago. And what's on my mind is the ocean, which feels topically relevant. But there was something about the start of the show today, standing there, admiring the sea, seeing this audience, and it took me back to our first bonfire, fall of our first year, when we got to meet all of the third years, meet the directors and the playwrights, and there was this moment when Ruva and I wandered off to the beach and just stared out at the ocean. And it's weird because fast forward to now, a month ago, Jermaine and Maya and Kat and I went to the beach for about an hour, and I sat there staring out, and I don't know. There's something about water that I think helps me visualize possibility. And it's so strange to think that in so much time, I still feel so hopeful about our future. I think that in the start, I was so hopeful of what I might learn, and I'm so glad and grateful to have learned so much. So I want to give a big thank you to our faculty who have instilled in us the knowledge that they have to share. I have a lot of gratitude to our cohort, to all 8 of us, but also to Ruva, so all 9 of us. I don't think that I would have learned as much, been pushed as hard, or gotten through this without you. So a big thanks. And then I just want to give a shout out to my mom. She has been my rock. She's, one of the kindest, most supporting, loving, sacrificial people I know. And there's just about nothing I think I could do to repay her for all of the ways that she has allowed me to become the person that I am. So a lot of gratitude to her. I hope that y'all have raucous celebrations back in San Diego. Happy graduation.
Kennedy Tolson. Stephen Bisher calls Kennedy a shapeshifter. I am calling her a submarine. Mysterious, important, full of hidden power and drive. Able to go deep in an instant, able to break the surface and consistently surprise us with her remarkable skills and transformational genius. Not a surprise that she started her time here as the Queen in Orlando, Very funny, very strong, very surprising. Then she played the heartbreaking character of Maddie on the Y stage in the aforementioned Space Mind extravaganza X. She then went on to play a middle-aged talent agent in Cancelina with exquisite comic timing and ease. And in her second year, she led the company of fierce punk rock vigilante women in Vinegar Town, turning the theater into a rock concert with her performance. In Gone Missing, I think she did 5 different accents, but more than that, she created 5 radically different, delightful humans and sang one beautiful, heart-wrenching song. Then she migrated to the Old Globe to play the stealthy Nancy in Delicia Turner Sonnenberg's Deceived, and finally did an incredible, hair-raising turn this last fall as the tortured nun Agnes in Agnes of God. We are so excited for what you will do as you move through the water with your quiet grace and your fierce determination. Kennedy Tolson. It's here somewhere. There it is.
Hi. Sitting in the audience, I was like, I probably should have wore a sweatsuit and wrote a speech, but I didn't do either. So I'd like to thank my family. I'd also like to thank my boyfriend Caleb, who came too, and all my teachers and my mentors outside of school, Robert, Kemi, Marcia, Stephanie. And I'd like to thank the first years too for reminding me like of what my first year was like and to be able to pass on institutional knowledge to them. Yeah, this is fun. Thank you.
And last but not least, Jermaine Lebrun. We are grateful to Jermaine for sticking with us through his 4th year of training, having come to us from Brown and bravely starting with us from scratch. Jermaine has done so many different things and grown in so many ways, bringing physical specificity and versatility, authenticity, and his warm, full voice to character after character that there is no telling what he will do. From his very first role as the devastating lover Carmelo in The Promise, where he literally came back from the dead to play the role in the second weekend, to his simultaneously frightening and funny Lord Capulet in Romeo and Juliet, to the multiple facets of the amateur podcaster in 809 Almond. Stephen Bisher writes of this character, the audience went crazy for Jermaine, often yelling and screaming for him. Not only could he get people to scream, he could also cause complete silence, like in the moment where he kissed his love interest for the first time in that play. You could hear a pin drop. Now that's range. Then he played one of my favorite roles, the singular, unique, idiosyncratic, not to be underestimated Tessman in Hedda Gabler, where we did not know what he would do next. And I also want to lift up his charming Chico in The Rogue's Trial and his performance in Mother Loss as part of the Wagner New Play Festival last year, which was full of surprise and nuance. As faculty writes, he was able to flip from emotion to emotion in a way that was both reassuring and profoundly unsettling. But for me, his performance this fall as Bunce in One Fleece Pair was the most revelatory, going back and forth between being engaging and sexy and utterly dangerous at one moment, seemingly harmless, and then chilling. That is why I give you, Jermaine, a catamaran, a watercraft with 2 parallel hulls of equal size for your ability to balance both sides of comedy and tragedy, silliness and terror, and your ability to embrace the wild journey of being an actor and the grounded steadiness needed to stay human. The catamaran imparts stability, resistance to rolling and overturning. I also Googled where you would see catamarans, and it turns out they are commonly seen off the coasts of your beloved Puerto Rico. Jermaine Lebrun. Congratulations.
Come here, Ursula. Wow. I'm overwhelmed with emotions. I wrote a speech this yesterday, and I just found myself crying over and over again. I wrote a speech this morning, different speech. Let's see if I can get through it without crying. As I stand here, it is so easy to forget and take for granted all of the steps that led to this moment. All of the early mornings, all of the breakfasts that my partner Kat and I would prepare us. The endless plates of meticulous breakfast foods, turkey, bacon, egg, and cheeses on a bagel, avocado toast carefully crafted with just the right amount of lemon, a little oil, and some chili crisps to top it off. The batches and batches of juicy blackberries and blueberries, the coffee percolating on the stove, first thing in the morning, and when we didn't have time or our shining morning faces, we'd jump to the good old-fashioned oatmeal with a little bit of cinnamon. It's easy to forget the hard work of getting up for Stephen's 9 a.m. masked fight clubs. Was I supposed to say that? No. It's easy to remember the moments in which this institution was overwhelming and scary and at times tedious. I consciously try to choose to remember the good equally as the bad. I choose to remember moments in Ursula's class where my vulnerability and my voice worked finally in tandem. I choose moments in Stephen's class where I stopped analyzing and started to live and create recklessly. I choose to remember Marco, a man who is 10 feet tall and has the voice of a Mack truck, and to hear him speak softly and tearfully about Hamlet. I choose to remember Meisner repetitions in Aishan's classes where I pointed out one of my classmates' cackles as a laugh. Ruva. I chose to remember Andrea's adventurous explorations into the foreign dialect of Sumnish. I choose Kyle's fire in the cave analogy that lets me know that there is a light in my song. I choose Eileen and Carol's ease. To my faculty, as I said in my thesis, your education, your time, and your generosity are in my bones. To my cohort mates, boy, oh boy, there were times where I didn't like a single one of you. But time and perspective gave me so much deep love and admiration for every single one of you. Thank you for teaching me the lessons I didn't need to know. I didn't know I needed to know. To Maya, my collaborator and my wonderful roommate, I appreciate your hunger for what we do. It drives me to match your ambition. I pray that one day we'll have so many more Rogues trials. To Luigi and Dagan, thank you for being my tribe. I want to thank my parents and my brother who might be watching online today. I love you guys so much for your support, even when you have no idea what it is I do. My mother, Lillian, when people ask her about me, she says in the most Puerto Rican accent ever, "Ay, my son is George Clooney." She might not be wrong. To my wonderful mother-in-law, bienvenida, sister-in-law, Vanessa, I cannot express how much your love has changed the fabric of my life. Thank you for always, I can't get through these tears. Thank you for always showing up. Bienvenida. Gracias por ser una segunda mamá. Tú mereces todo lo bueno en esta vida y tú eres una santa en la vida mía. To my fiancé, Kat Peña, who may or may not be bursting through those doors from a flight. You are my lover, my best friend, my lighthouse. You have been there when I have banged up against the walls of my artistry and myself and shattered to pieces. You stood patiently and lovingly as I put those pieces back together. We built our first home here, a place that is a manifestation of 12 extraordinary years of fortitude and tenderness and love. I cannot wait to be married to you when this chapter of our lives is over. Thank you, Booba. Thank you all so much for this. This was as Ursula said, I came here from Brown, did my first year there, and I came here. And I came here because of the light that I saw in Kat's class and the year before Kat's class, and the love that our teachers, Ursula, Stephen, Marco, Aishan, etc., that you all just shine out to us. Ursula, I'm here and I'm reminded of the first time I came to see you at Galbraith. And I asked you for a letter of recommendation for Brown, and you gave it to me. And then a year later, when you heard what was going on, you invited me here to audition. Thank you so much for opening the door to a little Puerto Rican boy who didn't know he could walk through it. Stephen, I admire you so much. God, I pray that one day I'll be able to walk through the world as open as you are. I want to be porous. I want the world to seep into me and let me create whatever I need to create to make it a better place. Thank you to Marco, who sent us endless emails, weekly emails, telling us of these anecdotes of being an actor, and it was all so very sweet. And to him saying, and I said this in my thesis, you may not understand the gravity and scope of your artistry. You may not understand what you were learning here, and you are banging up against the walls. But one day when you leave this place, it will seep into you, and you will say, that's what that was about. Thank you all so much for what you have done for us, for this institution. I love you guys deeply and wholly. Thank you.
So I have the good privilege of presenting these certificates. This will be quick. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Albert Einstein. One of the things, why do I always forget? One of the things that draws students to our program, besides the program itself, the La Jolla Playhouse, the faculty, the students, is the opportunity to teach. In the second and third year, our students get a chance to pass on their love, enthusiasm, and new clarity in what it is to engage in truth, imagination, and the power of words and storytelling. They do this primarily in 2 classes, Introduction to Acting and Public Speaking. All our instructors are superb, are stellar, so it is hard to choose folks for this award. I reached out to the tremendous teaching supervisors, and they put forward 3 folks who went above and beyond during their time here. I will read the remarks from the supervising faculty, and then we can applaud. Kenneth Ray is passionate, clear, and goes way beyond the expectations set in the curriculum. He sends out weekly announcements with helpful hints and links to articles about actors and acting. He sets the bar high and doesn't talk down to students. They are engaged and responsive and alive. Bailey Lee is incredibly passionate and actively listens to each of her students with such generosity. They respond to her all-in energy and are deeply engaged. Elliot Segay, deeply engaged with each of his students and has a thoughtful, wise demeanor, which he shares with his students in a big-hearted way. He also is an active listener, and students seem to feel seen by him. I am a big fan. Since none of the actors are here today, we will hold on to your certificates and get them to you. We can applaud.
My closing remarks are thank you to all the faculty who are here in the room. Thank you to the faculty who are watching. Thank you to the families that are watching. Thank you to the families that are here. Thank you to the actors that are watching, the graduating actors. Thank you to the graduating actors who are here. Go forth, prosper, kick ass, and know that we will always, always be proud of you and we will claim you. If you don't mind coming up, actors, for a group photo, come on up, and congratulations! And thank you, Herbert Siguenza.